One win, 5 second places. That is Scottie Scheffler's 2026. The best golfer on the planet, the world number one, 4-time major champion, 1 victory, and 5 times he has stood on a green on a Sunday evening and watched somebody else lift the trophy. And on Sunday afternoon in Blaine, Minnesota, in 97-degree heat, he went out and played almost perfectly, bogey-free, 8 under 63. 64 on Saturday, 63 on Sunday, one of the best weekends anybody put together all week. He lost by 3 to a 21-year-old who had been a professional golfer for 24 days. I want to be careful here because there is a lazy version of this video and a true version, and they are not the same. The lazy version says Scheffler is finished. He isn't. He's leading the FedExCup by nearly 800 points, and I'll get to that because it genuinely complicates everything I'm about to say. But the true version is still uncomfortable, because what happened at the 3M Open wasn't a choke, and it wasn't bad luck, and it wasn't a bad putting day. Scheffler did everything right. He gained almost 6 shots on the field with the putter. He was plus 4.6 in strokes gained approach for the week. He played the golf you play when you win, and a kid beat him anyway. So let me ask the only question worth asking. What does it mean when the best player alive plays that well on a soft scoring course and still finishes second for the 5th time this year? Let's go back through it because the details matter. Start with Friday, because Friday tells you what kind of week this was. Michael Kim, a 33-year-old journeyman who had made 1 cut in 5 previous appearances at this tournament and had missed his last 3 cuts anywhere, went out at TPC Twin Cities and shot 12 under 59. 12 birdies, no bogeys, 4 straight birdies to finish, capped with a 24-footer on the last. The 16th sub-60 round in PGA Tour history, and listen to how close that never happened. Kim had played 5 weeks in a row. He'd missed 3 cuts on the bounce. He had seriously considered not coming to Minnesota at all. He went home after the Open, rested for a few days, and only then flew to Blaine. Before Friday, his career low anywhere was 62. In 13 competitive rounds at TPC Twin Cities, he had broken 70 exactly 3 times. Then he shot 59. Hold that thought, a man shot 59. By Sunday night, it was maybe the 4th most interesting thing that happened all week. That is how strange this tournament was. Kim led at halfway on 14 under. Scheffler was 7 back. And on Saturday, Scheffler did what Scheffler does. He made his move, a 7 under 64, tapping in for birdie on the last to pull into a 7-way tie for the lead. Anywhere else, that's the headline. World number 1 storms into a share of the lead going into Sunday. 80 minutes later, that headline was dead. Jackson Koivun went out and shot 10 under 61, bogey-free. And the way he did it is the part you need to hear. He played the back 9 in 28, 8 under, a tournament record. Eagle at the par 5 12th. Then birdie, birdie, eagle to finish, pulling out the 18th to go to 20 under and take a 3-shot lead. 28 on the back 9, 21 years old, 3rd start as a professional. So Sunday, Scheffler starts 6 back, and he needs something enormous. And he goes and gets something enormous, 3 under through 8, 3 birdies in a row at 10, 11, and 12, birdies at 16 and 18 coming home. 8 under 63, no bogeys on a Sunday, chasing. There was one moment where it might have turned. Scheffler had a 5-footer for birdie on the 14th. It lipped in, and then it lipped back out. That's the entire margin of Scheffler's Sunday right there. A putt that went in and changed its mind. And on the 9th green, at almost exactly the same time, Koivun did the opposite. His approach found sand. He got up and down for par. He said afterwards it might have been the biggest putt he made all week, that the scoreboard was right there, and he could see exactly what missing would do to his lead. That's the whole tournament in 2 putts. 1 went in and came out, 1 stayed in. Koivun closed in bogey-free 66. 25 under 259. A tournament record, the old mark was Lee Hodges at 24 under 260 in 2023. He won by 3. He said afterwards that all the way round he could hear the crowd telling him what was coming. Scottie's coming, Scottie's coming. He heard it. He didn't flinch. $1.584 million. 500 FedExCup points. Exempt on the PGA Tour through 2028. Exemptions into the 2027. Players' Championship, the 2027 Masters, and the 2027 PGA Championship. He goes from nowhere to roughly 70th in the FedExCup and about 75th in the world, 24 days after turning professional. And if you're sitting there thinking this came out of nowhere, it didn't, and that's the genuinely unsettling part. Koivun left Auburn with 11 individual college wins, the most in program history. Career scoring average of 68.89, the lowest in NCAA history. 3 straight SEC Player of the Year awards, the first man ever to do that. 3 consecutive SEC individual titles, which nobody had done since the 1960s. 2 national team titles. He is the first player ever to win college golf's 3 biggest individual awards, the Nicklaus, the Hogan, and the Haskins, twice. And there's one more, from February of this year, that I think is the real tell. At the Amur Ari Invitational in Hawaii, Koivun opened with back-to-back 62s. That broke the NCAA 36-hole scoring record. The record he broke had been set by Tiger Woods in 1996. Now, college records are college records, and I'm not going to sit here and tell you that erasing a 30-year-old Tiger Woods number makes you the next Tiger Woods. It does not work like that, and anybody who tells you it does is guessing. But it does tell you that the ceiling everyone kept talking about wasn't hype. And he wasn't a stranger to this level either. Sunday was his 13th career start on the PGA Tour, most of those as an amateur. In the previous 12, he'd finished top 25 6 times and top 6 3 times, including a tie for 5th at the Wyndham Championship in 2025. He made his major debut at Oakmont at the 2025 US Open and missed the cut. He went back in 2026 and tied for 23rd, taking low amateur honors. He didn't have to qualify for anything either. He arrived with a full PGA Tour card already in his pocket through PGA Tour U Accelerated, earned while he was still a student at Auburn. He skipped his senior year, turned professional in June, and got on with it. He missed the cut at the John Deere. He tied for 10th at the ISCO. Then he won. And if you're enjoying this one, do me a favor and hit subscribe. It genuinely helps, and there's a lot more coming as the FedExCup playoffs get real. Now here's the number that reframes the whole season. Scheffler's runner-up on Sunday was his 5th of 2026. Scheffler and Cameron Young in 2022 are the only players on the PGA Tour in the last 40 years to record at least 5 second-place finishes in a single season. 40 years, 2 players, add the rest of it, 2/3, 3/4, add the win and the 5 seconds, and that is 11 times this season he has finished in the top 4. Nearly $17 million earned. And one win, the American Express, the very first event of the season, back in January, which was also his 20th career PGA Tour title and made him the first player since Tiger Woods to reach 20 wins before turning 30. Then the majors. He went winless in all 4. One shot behind Rory McIlroy at the Masters, where McIlroy became the first back-to-back Masters champion since Tiger in 2002. Quiet on the weekend at Aronimink in the PGA. Runner-up at Shinnecock, where he narrowly missed a putt that would have tied Wyndham Clark. And a cold putter at Royal Birkdale, where Ryan Fox took the claret jug. And then the statistic that I cannot get out of my head. In 2025, Scheffler played in the final group on Sunday 5 times. He won all 5 of them. By late June this year, he had been in 6 final groups and won 1. And 2 weeks ago, at the Genesis Scottish Open, he missed a cut, his first in nearly 4 years. Same swing, same work ethic, same everything, different outcome. And now let's be fair for a second, because this is where the lazy version of this story falls apart. Scheffler didn't lose the 3M Open, Koivun won it. That is not the same thing, and pretending otherwise is dishonest. You cannot shoot 64 and 63 on the weekend and be accused of collapsing. He gained 6 shots on the field putting. He hit his irons beautifully. On most weeks out here, 22 under par is a winning number. He ran into a 21-year-old who shot 61 the day before and then went bogey-free on Sunday with the world #1 visibly hunting him down. Second, Scheffler is still leading the FedExCup by close to 800 points over Matt Fitzpatrick, who has won 3 times this season. Sit with that for a second, because it's genuinely remarkable and almost nobody is framing it this way. A man with 1 win is comfortably ahead of a man with 3 in the race that decides the season, purely on the weight of being there in contention every single week. And the PGA Tour's own read on his numbers is that this is a slight dip in form that is still better than anybody else in the sport. I think that's right. And every one of those 5 second places is worth something. Sunday alone was $959,000 for finishing behind Koivun. You don't stack nearly $17 million in a season by being in decline. You stack it by being unavoidable. And third, the history. Tiger Woods won exactly once in 1998. He won exactly once in 2004, and after that 2004 win, he went 16 starts before winning again. The year after that drought, he won the Masters and the Open. This is what a great career actually looks like when you zoom out far enough, the wins cluster, and then they don't, and then they do again. So no, this is not a crisis. Anyone selling you Scheffler's decline is selling you something. But here's what I think it actually is, and it's more interesting than a decline. Scheffler himself said something on Sunday that I think was the most honest read of the day, and it came from the man who just lost. Paraphrasing him, the players coming out of college now arrive more prepared than his generation did. They arrive already believing they can win, and it's good for the sport. He's right, and he's describing the thing that just beat him. Because this is not really a story about Scottie Scheffler at all. It's a story about a pipeline. Jackson Koivun did not have to grind on a developmental tour for 3 years. He did not have to go to Q school. He earned a full PGA Tour card while he was still at Auburn, turned professional in June, and won in his 3rd start. He is the 7th first-time winner on tour this season, the 4th rookie winner. That is a system doing exactly what it was designed to do, and doing it faster than anybody expected. The gap between best college player in America and beat the world #1 on a Sunday used to be measured in years. Koivun measured it in 24 days. And that changes what Scheffler's 5 second places actually mean. It's not that he got worse, it's that the number of players capable of shooting 61 and then holding on has gone up. In 2025, when he got to a Sunday in the last group, nobody beat him. This year, people keep beating him. The bar didn't drop. The field rose to it. That's not a decline. That's an arms race. And Scheffler is now in one, whether he likes it or not. So here's your verdict, and I want it in the comments. Is this the first real crack in Scottie Scheffler's dominance? A world #1 who suddenly can't close? Or is it the opposite, proof that he's still the most consistent player in the world, and golf just got deeper and younger and more ruthless around him? 1 win and 5 seconds. You decide which number tells the truth.